Hey there everyone, this is Kieran from YouTube. I decided to do a little let's play of the Bloody Palace survival mode as Nero because I've actually received a lot of questions regarding how to do this, how to do that. Some of them I'd like to point you to that FAQs on GameFAQs about, but I know a lot of those little things are probably better off if I just talk to you about it while I'm playing. This is my first let's play for YouTube. I apologize in advance if the format is a little bit awkward. The problem with the Bloody Palace series is that it's basically an hour and a half run through the entire levels, and it's gonna probably take a little bit longer than that. I'd say maybe like 8 or 9 to 10 or 11 videos, I don't know. But basically what I want to do is just run to the Bloody Palace and give you tips and tricks on how to play as Nero, so that you guys will have a easier time taking it on yourself. A lot of these were done through just playing through it again and again. That's one of the main things I encourage you guys to do. Just play it again and again and again. Let the game kick your ass. Play it again, play it again, play it again. Just keep going at it. But also, don't be afraid to ask questions, and hopefully make sure to take a look at these videos. I'm not going to be using Nero because, well, I've already done a bunch of videos as Dante, and I even did take 2s of them. I apologize I didn't put any annotations for those, but hopefully this should help you guys out with Nero, because in my opinion, he's a very, very powerful character. Then again, both Dante and Nero are powerful in their own ways, but he's powerful because he's relatively easy to use. He does good damage. Most of his moves hit people in a really wide arc. Anyway, let's just get things started. I'll give you little tips and tricks on how to deal with each of the spawns in the levels, things to look out for when a monster, like certain monsters that would appear where you may not expect them. Certain spawn patterns that you may be able to take advantage of, yada yada yada. Anyway, let's get this thing started. I've already talked too much. Let's rock. Okay, one thing to make sure to do as soon as you start playing this game is to map your gun to your L1. You want to do this because you'll be able to charge up your gun while you're fighting. Make L1 your gun, make square your double trigger. I'm using PS3 button notations because I grew up playing on a PS3. I'm not really much of a Xbox 360 fan. I do have an Xbox myself, so let's not start with the console fanboyism. Anyway, as you can tell, Nero is a very straightforward character. He only has one melee weapon, one gun, and his buster. I'm stating the obvious, but just to reiterate, what he does with the buster depends on the monster he's using it on. These scarecrows are just slam them down, which is pretty straightforward. One of the main reasons why you want to use the buster, other than to do lots of heavy damage, is to actually gain DT. If you notice, when you slam someone down, you gain maybe about half a bulb's worth of DT. So the best thing to do to be efficient with your DT gauge is to do the buster as the last hit of your combo. And speaking of combos, one of the main things that makes the Devil May Cry series better, or one of the best action games I think, compared to a lot of other action games out there, is the ability to basically cancel anything into anything. You can do a couple slashes, cancel that into a buster, do a snatch, do a couple slashes, jump, cancel that into a jump, then cancel the jump into the charge shot. Okay, to fight these guys, you can either just hit them from the back, just jump over them, or buster through them, or you can try to break their shield. The easiest way to break their shield is to just do a buster. Don't block it, just shuffle out of the way, like this. hit him, buster him again, that breaks your shield, that gives you a lot of style points, and gives you the T-gun. One of the main things you want to make sure of when you're playing Bloody Palace is to always try to be as efficient as possible with your Devil Trigger. Do as much damage as possible. Just don't go Devil Trigger and just walk around and try to hit things. Know what you're doing with the Devil Trigger. In this game, the Devil Trigger acts kind of like the burst that Guilty Gear, where it gives you a small amount of invincibility when you activate it, and also hits the gun. That invincibility can be used to dodge hits that you won't be able to dodge because maybe you did a move that's too laggy. And it also can be used to interrupt monsters when they're about to hit you, because that hit that the Devil Trigger does it's like a really hard hit. I don't know how to categorize it. I don't know what the technical terms are. I know I have had questions from people asking me how I learned how to play this game. Again, it's mainly just practice. It's just learning little things like these guys. They're really hard to combo because they get pushed back. So you might want to just use hard hits like this instead of trying to combo them normally. Also, obviously you want to make sure you kill these guys as soon as possible because you don't want them fusing with other enemies. Of course, you'll see me fail to do that in later vids because of the stages. One of the best combos that Nero has on the ground is this combo where you go triangle, triangle, you wait a little while, and then he swings really, really wide. His regular combo is okay, but I wouldn't do the last hit, only because that last hit is kind of laggy, and this actually doesn't do as much damage as you think it does. And since it only hits one person in general, it leaves your left side and your right side and your back side exposed. So you don't want to do that. Alright, to this spawn, I usually Devil Trigger and do the maximum bet. That's back, R1, and square and circle. Also, don't be afraid to use the buster on these guys. It is, you can say it's kind of cheap because it's a one-hit kill, but this is a one-player game. Nothing is cheap. Well, except maybe being Super Dante or Super Nero. Okay, this spawn, what I do is try to gather them all up and do a level 3 shuffle. If you guys are wondering how you do that move, it's hold R1 and back forward triangle. Oh, and another thing people are asking me is this a PC version? Yes, it's a PC version. The reason why I prefer to play PC versions of console games is because they have graphic settings that allow you to basically make the game look as good as possible. This is, in my opinion, one of the best versions of Devil May Cry. Actually, one of the best PC ports that Capcom has made. Whatever you do, don't get the PC port of Devil May Cry 3. It's really bad. Really bad. Another question I get asked is what kind of controller I use. I use a PlayStation 2 controller, mainly because the triggers in the back aren't as hard to hit. So it makes my comboing much easier. So you could say it's almost like a tool assist because I'm not using the controller that the game was sort of meant for. But a PlayStation 2 controller is basically a PlayStation 3 controller without the triggers. I use that PS2 controller through an adapter that converts the USB into the PlayStation 2 into a USB format. It originally only works with Vista, but I'm actually using Windows 7. But it works flawlessly because I admit that Windows 7 is actually pretty good OS, and a lot of stuff works seamlessly. Because Windows 7 is pretty much just a revised, fixed up version of this stuff. Before then, I only used Windows XP. Anyway, for these big guys, you just want to beat them up, as you can tell. As long as you keep them on their backs, they won't do their attacks that hit really hard. And I know saying that I'm running out of time, so I'll continue to talk in the next video. Okay? Alright. See you guys later.